Hello, everybody, and welcome to Module 2 of this course, which is titled The Art of Prompting. Today, we will learn how to communicate with AI to get classroom ready results on your first try through the use of effective prompting. What you will learn today. Today, you will learn to apply the roles prompting framework to generate high quality educational content. You will also learn to write prompts that specify role, output format, level, examples, and scope. Third, you will learn how to iterate on AI outputs using follow-up prompting techniques. And lastly, how to adapt prompts for different subjects, grade levels, and student needs. Have you ever asked AI to help you with something and gotten back something that was just fine? Or maybe just sort of generically fine? Maybe technically correct but completely unusable in your actual classroom? That's not an AI problem. That's more of a prompting problem. Today, you're going to learn the skill that separates educators who dabble with AI from educators who rely on it daily. I call it the roles framework. And once you learn it, you will never write a vague prompt again. A vague prompt can be something such as, give me a lesson about photosynthesis. However, through the use of the roles framework, you can improve that vague prompt into something more refined that will give you a more accurate and extensive answer. For example, you are an experienced 7th grade life science teacher who makes abstract concepts concrete. Here, there's a clear role assigned, the structure output format, there's a grade level and learner details, and scope boundaries are set. The difference between AI generated fluff and a classroom ready resource is your prompt. Now let's talk more in detail about the roles framework, the 5 elements that make up an effective educational prompt. Each letter represents one dimension of a well-crafted prompt. Roles stands for 5 elements. R stands for role. It tells the AI who to be. The O is for output. It specifies exactly what you want back. L is for level. It defines the grade level, reading level, or complexity. The E is for examples. It shows the AI what good looks like. And S is for scope. It sets the boundaries on length, depth, and format. Let's break each one down with classroom examples. R is for role, and role is the first and most transformative element. The AI uses the role to filter every decision about tone, complexity, vocabulary, and approach. Instead of just asking a question, tell the AI to adopt a role that shapes its response. Compare these two prompts. Prompt A: give me a lesson about photosynthesis. Prompt B: you are an experienced 7th grade life science teacher who specializes in making abstract concepts concrete through hands-on analogies. Create a lesson about photosynthesis. The second prompt produces dramatically better results because the AI now has a persona that guides its tone, complexity, and approach. The role you assign acts like a filter on everything the AI generates. The second element of the framework is the O, which stands for output. Be explicit about the format you want. Don't say, help me with a lesson. Instead, say, create a 45-minute lesson plan with the following sections: learning objective, materials needed, warm-up activity of 5 minutes, direct instruction of 15 minutes, guided practice of 15 minutes, independent practice of 10 minutes, and exit ticket. When you specify the output structure, the AI fills in the structure rather than guessing what you want. This is the single biggest improvement most educators can make immediately. The L stands for level. AI defaults to a generic middle-of-the-road complexity. You need to override that by specifying not just the grade level but the actual characteristics of your learners. For example, this is for 3rd grade students, many of whom are English language learners reading at a first or second grade level. Use simple sentence structures, define vocabulary words in parentheses, and include visual cue suggestions. This example shows a level of specificity that transforms the output from a generic worksheet to something you can actually hand to your students. The fourth element of the roles framework is the E, which stands for examples. This is the secret weapon most people skip. If you show the AI an example of what good looks like, it will model its output after that example. You can paste in a quiz question you wrote that you love and say, generate 10 more questions in this same style and difficulty level. Or paste a paragraph from a reading passage and say, write 3 more paragraphs at this same lexile level on related topics. Examples are worth more than paragraphs of description. The final element of the roles framework is the S, which stands for scope. Here, you set boundaries. For instance, keep it to 1 page. Provide exactly 5 options. Don't include anything that requires internet access. Limit vocabulary to Tier 2 academic words. Without scope constraints, AI tends to overdeliver with lengthy, unfocused outputs. A tight scope produces tight results. Now let me put it all together for you. Here's a complete roles prompt. You are a veteran 5th grade ELA teacher known for engaging reluctant readers. Create a reading comprehension worksheet for a 600 lexile informational text about ocean ecosystems. Include 3 text-dependent multiple-choice questions, 2 short answer questions requiring text evidence, and 1 creative response question. Each question should be scaffolded from recall to analysis. Format as a student-ready worksheet with clear numbering and space for written responses. Keep the total worksheet to 1 page. That prompt will produce something you can use tomorrow morning, and it only took 60 seconds to write. Now let's talk about iteration and the power of iteration, because even with the roles framework, you won't always get it perfect on the first try, and that is okay. The key here is knowing how to refine without starting over. After you get a response, you can say things like, make the multiple choice options more challenging, add plausible distractors, or you can say something like, simplify the language in question 3 for ELL students, or add a word bank for the short answer questions. Each follow-up narrows the output toward exactly what you need. Think of it as a conversation, not a single command. 2 to 3 rounds of iteration usually gets you to a polished, classroom-ready result. Now here's some key takeaways for this module. The first one is the roles framework and understanding what it is and what each letter stands for. Role plus output plus level plus examples plus scope. This is your perfect prompting formula. Secondly, specifying the output format is the single biggest improvement you can make immediately. Third, the importance of using examples. These are your secret weapon that shows the AI what good looks like. And lastly, the power of iteration and understanding that 2 to 3 rounds of making adjustments with the AI tool turns a strong first draft into a polished, classroom-ready result. Now here's your assignment for this module. I want you guys to take one task you're planning to do this week, such as a worksheet, a rubric, a parent email, just anything, and write a roles prompt for it. Compare the output to what you would have created manually. I think you will be surprised. Now head to the workbook exercises and make sure to complete those for extra practice. They're going to drill this framework into your muscle memory. When you're ready, move on to modules 3. AI-powered lesson design. Good luck.